Jungkook is not just a global pop star, he is a symbol of modern culture, a figure who embodies youth, aspiration, and artistry in ways that few others have ever achieved. What makes his position in the luxury industry so unusual is not merely the fact that he is in demand, but the extent to which brands relentlessly pursue him, even when he refuses their offers. In an era where many celebrities line up for sponsorships and endorsements, the narrative around Jungkook is inverted. Here we see one individual who turns down the world's most powerful luxury houses, only for those very brands to chase him with even greater intensity. The situation is almost paradoxical. The more he resists, the more they insist. And behind this ongoing pursuit lies a deeper story about the nature of modern branding, the cultural power Jungkook represents, and the tension between an artist's personal choices and the commercial machinery of global luxury. From the outset, it must be said that Jungkook's relationship with luxury is not one of dependence. Unlike many stars, who rely heavily on fashion and luxury endorsements to build their image, Jungkook's foundation is music, artistry, and individuality. His reputation as a performer is so strong that he does not need a fashion house to validate his status. This independence is precisely what gives him leverage, and it is also why luxury brands view him as the ultimate prize. They do not simply see him as a face to wear their clothes. They see him as someone who can redefine the narrative of their brand by association. But the more fascinating dimension here is that Jungkook consistently refuses to give in to every invitation. He selects carefully, he rejects most, and in doing so, he has created a rarity value around himself that no amount of money can manufacture. The refusal itself becomes part of the story. Every time Jungkook declines an approach from a major brand, the refusal only increases his worth in the eyes of that brand. Luxury thrives on exclusivity. In the luxury world, what is unattainable is what becomes most desirable. By saying no, Jungkook paradoxically becomes even more aligned with the very essence of luxury, scarcity, rarity, and the idea that not everything can be bought. The irony is that luxury brands, which spend billions creating artificial scarcity, now face a living embodiment of it in Jungkook. His personal choices are creating a value that no marketing campaign can replicate. But this raises the central question: why do brands continue to chase him so relentlessly, despite his refusals? The answer lies in a convergence of factors. First, Jungkook commands one of the most loyal and global fanbases in the world. The reach he offers is not limited to one country, one demographic, or one style. His influence extends across continents, cultures, and industries. Luxury brands understand that attaching their name to Jungkook is not just about fashion, it is about tapping into a cultural phenomenon that defines this generation. He is not merely a singer, he is a movement, a global symbol of aspiration. And for brands that sell not only products, but also identity, Jungkook represents the most powerful identity marker they could possibly acquire. There is the matter of authenticity. In an industry where so many endorsements feel transactional and forced, Jungkook's refusals and selective choices create the opposite effect. When he does align with a brand, people believe it. His image carries credibility precisely because he does not attach his name to every opportunity. In a world oversaturated with celebrity brand collaborations, where every influencer seems eager to promote the next luxury handbag or fragrance, Jungkook's restraint stands out as something rare. This restraint makes him trustworthy, and in turn, makes any brand partnership with him infinitely more valuable. It is also worth noting the financial dynamics at play. Luxury brands are not naive. They understand that the cost of securing Jungkook is extraordinarily high, but they are willing to pay it. Why? Because in the long run, the return on investment could dwarf the initial outlay. Imagine the sales impact if Jungkook were to be seen consistently representing a single luxury label. His influence on consumer behavior, particularly among younger generations who see him as an icon, would be immense. These brands are not just competing for visibility, they are competing for cultural dominance. And in that competition, Jungkook is the ultimate asset. That is why they continue to push even when he resists. The persistence of luxury brands also reveals another layer, their fear of missing out. In the global branding race, securing Jungkook would be a historic achievement. If one brand lands him, all others are left behind. That sense of competition intensifies the chase, creating a bidding war of sorts where brands are not only trying to win Jungkook's approval, but also trying to prevent their rivals from securing him. In this sense, the pursuit is not just about Jungkook, it is about dominance in the market. Whoever wins him gains an almost insurmountable advantage. At the same time, Jungkook's refusals highlight his own priorities. He seems unwilling to be commodified at every turn, unwilling to dilute his identity by attaching it to endless campaigns. This integrity makes him stand out in an industry where so many are quick to say yes. There is strength in his refusal, and fans respect it. It tells them that his focus remains on his craft, his artistry, and his authenticity. It shows that he is not swayed by money alone, even when the offers are astronomical. This stance only deepens his appeal, both to fans and, ironically, to the very brands he turns away. This ongoing tension between Jungkook and luxury brands illustrates something larger about modern celebrity. It is no longer enough to simply attach a famous face to a product. Audiences demand authenticity. They can sense when a partnership is forced or insincere. Jungkook, by holding himself back from constant partnerships, has built an aura that is nearly impossible for brands to resist. He embodies what brands are desperate to manufacture: authenticity, scarcity, and influence. And so, even as he says no, the pursuit continues louder, more aggressive, more determined. But there is also an emotional dimension to this story. Jungkook's journey has always been one of discipline, resilience, and self-definition. He grew from a young trainee into a global superstar, not by chasing shortcuts, but by committing to his craft. That same discipline now extends into how he handles the luxury world. He refuses to be defined by brands. Instead, he defines himself first, and only then allows a brand to step into his orbit. This refusal to be consumed is not just a business decision, it is a statement of identity, and it resonates with fans who see in him a figure who cannot be bought, a figure who remains true to himself despite the temptations of power and money. Luxury brands know this, and they want a piece of it. They want his refusal turned into acceptance, his independence turned into collaboration, and they are willing to pay almost any price to make it happen. Yet, as of now, Jungkook holds the upper hand. He is the one who decides. He is the one who shapes the terms. And that is what makes this story so compelling. It is not about a star chasing brands, but about brands chasing a star who does not need them. Brands understand this dynamic, and it only fuels their determination. The more he resists, the more valuable he becomes, and the more they are willing to offer. In this sense, Jungkook has unintentionally placed himself in the ultimate position of leverage. He does not chase deals, yet the deals grow bigger. He does not plead for attention, yet he commands it. His influence has reached the level where even rejection is a form of dominance. By refusing brands, He reminds them that they need him more than he needs them. This power imbalance is rare in the world of luxury branding. Typically, celebrities bend toward brands, eager to associate with their prestige. But Jungkook flips this dynamic. The brands bend toward him, adjusting their offers, increasing their prices, restructuring their campaigns, all in the hope that he will reconsider. This inversion of power is not only fascinating but historic. It is rare for one individual to stand in such a position where the entire luxury sector views him as the ultimate prize, yet he continues to stand apart. The emotional undercurrent of this chase cannot be ignored. There is something deeply human in the way fans watch luxury houses compete for him. It feels like a testament to his worth, not just as a performer, but as an individual who has built his name on talent, discipline, and authenticity. It is not merely that brands want him, it is that they cannot have him. And that inability only amplifies the sense of longing and desire that defines the luxury market. For Jungkook himself, this ongoing chase must be both flattering and exhausting. Flattering because it proves his unmatched value in a world that is notoriously difficult to impress. Exhausting because it requires constant vigilance to maintain his boundaries. Every refusal is not just a rejection. It is a reminder to the industry that his image is not for sale on their terms. Maintaining this position requires discipline, and it highlights just how carefully Jungkook guards his identity. What makes this story even more compelling is the sheer persistence of these brands. They do not give up. Even after repeated refusals, they return with new offers, bigger numbers, and grander visions. It is almost as if they believe that everyone has a price, and they are determined to discover his. But what they fail to fully grasp is that Jungkook's value is not rooted in money. His value is rooted in his ability to say no, in his willingness to walk away, in his determination to remain independent. That is what makes him different, and that is what makes him irreplaceable. The persistence of luxury brands is not without reason. They know that Jungkook's influence is global, and that securing him would not only boost sales, but also redefine their cultural positioning. He represents the future of celebrity branding, where authenticity outweighs exposure, and where influence is measured not by the number of campaigns, but by the power of selective alignment. By securing Jungkook, a brand would signal that it has achieved the impossible. It has won over the one figure who refused everyone else. That victory alone would cement their place in cultural history. In essence, Jungkook has become the luxury industry's unsolvable puzzle. They know what they want, they know why they want it, and they know how much they are willing to pay. Yet, the final decision rests in his hands, and he continues to choose differently. This ongoing tension is not just about fashion, it is about power, control, and identity. Jungkook has rewritten the rules of celebrity brand relationships, and in doing so, he has created a narrative that feels both rare and necessary in today's culture. As long as this dynamic continues, the chase will not end. Brands will continue to knock on his door, each time louder than the last, each time offering more. They cannot stop, because the idea of Jungkook represents too much to them. And he will continue to stand firm, because his independence represents too much to him. This tug-of-war is the essence of the story. One man who cannot be bought, and an industry that refuses to accept it.